20 plants that have nourished the family for decades. Have you ever thought about having a backyard or a vegetable garden that produces food for years and years, almost without needing to be replanted? Well, there are several plants that do exactly that. They are like those trees or bushes that, once grown, produce fruit, leaves or roots without stopping, as if they were saving food. Some even last longer than us, passing from generation to generation. In this text, we will talk about 20 plants like this. These are easy-to-care options that don't require a lot of work and also help you save money. Many of them we see on a daily basis, in neighbors' backyards, farms, or even on the streets. The idea is to show how they work, what they eat, and how they can be useful for those who want to always have fresh food on hand. Why are these plants special? Most of the plants we grow need to be replanted every year. This is the case with tomatoes, lettuce, or beans. You plant, harvest, and then have to start all over again. But the plants we are going to list here are different. They grow once and continue producing for decades. Some, like certain fruit trees, can live for over 50 years. It's like having a food machine in your backyard. Another advantage is that they require less work. Once they are established, many just need water, sun, and a little basic care. It's not like a vegetable garden that demands daily attention. Furthermore, they help the environment. They provide shade, attract good birds and insects, and some even improve the soil. The 20 plants that nourish for decades, let's get to know each one of them, explaining what they produce and how to care for them. Let's start with the best known and go to some that may be new to you. 1. Who doesn't like mango? This tree is giant, provides shade and produces sweet fruits for more than 50 years. An adult mango tree can produce hundreds of mangoes per season. Care is simple. It likes the sun, needs water during the growing season, and, as an adult, can even tolerate drought. Just be careful with ants and fungi, which can attack the leaves. 2. Avocado tree. Avocado is a fruit full of good and versatile fat. It can be used in salads, smoothies, guacamole, or even desserts. An adult avocado tree produces fruit for 30 years or more. It likes sun, well-drained soil, and does not like waterlogging. A tip: plant 2 trees close to each other to help with pollination. 3. Lemon tree. Lemon is one of the most useful foods in the kitchen. It is used to season fish, make lemonade, clean the house, and even help with digestion. A lemon tree can live for more than 30 years and produce fruit year-round, depending on the variety. It needs sun, regular water, and light pruning to remove dry branches. Be careful with aphids, which love to attack young leaves. 4. Orange tree. Orange is one of the most consumed fruits in the world. An adult orange tree can bear fruit for 50 years or more. It likes sun, fertile soil, and regular watering. There are several varieties. The pear orange is great for juice, the bahia is sweet and seedless, and the lemon is used in caipirinhas. 1 tip: plant near other citrus trees to help with pollination. 5. Banana tree. The banana tree is not a tree, but a giant plant. It produces bunches of bananas for years, but what many people don't know is that the mother dies after bearing fruit, but before that, several daughters have sprouted around it. Thus, the plantation renews itself. The banana tree likes water, soil rich in organic matter, and sun. Be careful with strong winds, which can blow down the leaves. 6. Coconut tree. The coconut palm is a tropical tree that bears coconuts for decades. An adult coconut tree can produce 50 to 200 coconuts per year. In addition to water and pulp, coconuts are used to make milk, oil, and even handicrafts. It needs sun, sandy soil, and lots of water. If you live on the coast, it's a great option. 7. Jabuticabera. Jabuticaba is a delicious and very Brazilian fruit. The jabuticabera is a tree that can live for more than 50 years and produces fruit twice a year. The cool thing is that jabuticabas grow on the trunk, which makes the tree beautiful when it is loaded. It likes sun, moist soil, and regular fertilization. A tip: plant near a place where you can harvest the fruits without difficulty, because they ripen quickly. 8. Plum tree. Plums are a sweet and juicy fruit, great for eating fresh or making jam. The plum tree can live for more than 30 years and produce fruit annually. It needs sun, well-drained soil, and pruning to maintain its shape. There are varieties that adapt well to the Brazilian climate, such as the Japanese plum. 9. Peach tree. Peach is a sweet and juicy summer fruit. The peach tree lives for about 20 years and produces fruit for almost that entire time. It likes sun, fertile soil, and annual pruning to stimulate production. A tip: Plant it in a location protected from the wind, because the branches are fragile. 10. Fig tree. Fig is a sweet and versatile fruit, used in sweets, salads, and even savory dishes. The fig tree can live for more than 50 years and produce fruit twice a year. It is resistant, can withstand drought, and does not need much care. Just be careful with the ants, who love ripe figs. 11. Pomegranate tree. Pomegranate is an exotic fruit, full of sweet, juicy seeds. The pomegranate tree can live for more than 30 years and produce fruit annually. It likes sun, well-drained soil, and pruning to maintain its shape. A tip: plant it in a place where you can harvest the fruits without difficulty, because they crack when ripe. 12. Oliveira. The olive tree is a tree typical of the Mediterranean, but which adapts well to the Brazilian climate. It produces olives, which can be consumed fresh or used to make olive oil. An olive tree can live hundreds of years. It likes sun, poor soil, and doesn't need much water. The main care is pruning, to keep the tree healthy. 13. Cashew tree. Cashew is a delicious fruit, and the cashew tree is a resistant tree that can live for more than 30 years. In addition to cashews, chestnuts are also highly valued. The cashew tree likes sun, sandy soil, and does not need a lot of water. A tip: plant it in a spacious location, because the tree grows quite large. 14. Guava. Guava is a fruit rich in vitamin C and is widely used in sweets and juices. The guava tree can live for more than 30 years and produce fruit twice a year. It likes sun, fertile soil, and pruning to maintain its shape. Be careful with fruit flies, which can attack guavas. 15. Pitangara. Pitanga is a small, sweet, and flavorful fruit. The cherry tree is a shrub that can live for more than 20 years and produce fruit annually. It likes sun, moist soil, and doesn't need much care. A tip: plant near an area where you can easily harvest the fruits, because they ripen quickly. 16. Blackberry. Blackberries are a delicious fruit, used in sweets, jellies, and juices. The mulberry tree is a tree that can live for more than 30 years and produce fruit annually. It likes sun, fertile soil, and pruning to maintain its shape. A tip: plant in a place where you can harvest the fruits without difficulty, as they stain your hands and clothes. 17. Passion fruit. Passion fruit is a tropical fruit, used in juices, sweets, and even savory dishes. The passion fruit tree is a vine that can live for more than 10 years and produce fruit annually. It likes sun, fertile soil, and needs support to grow, such as a fence or an arbor. Be careful with caterpillars, which can attack the leaves. 18. Papaya. Papaya is a sweet and juicy fruit, used in juices, salads, and desserts. The papaya tree is a plant that can live for more than 5 years and produce fruit all year round. It likes sun, fertile soil, and regular water. A tip: plant it in a location protected from the wind, because the branches are fragile. 19. Acerola. Acerola is a fruit rich in vitamin C, used in juices and sweets. The acerola tree is a shrub that can live for more than 10 years and produce fruits several times a year. It likes sun, fertile soil, and pruning to maintain its shape. Be careful with ants, who love ripe fruit. 20. Mint. Mint is not a tree, but an herb that can live for decades if cared for properly. It is used in teas, juices, seasonings, and even desserts. Mint likes sun, moist soil, and spreads easily. A tip: plant it in a pot or in a designated area, as it can take over the garden. How to choose the best plants for your space. Not all of these plants will adapt to your yard or climate. Therefore, it is important to choose the ones that best suit your reality. Here are some tips. Climate. If you live in a hot and humid place, plants such as banana, coconut, and papaya trees will do well. In colder regions, opt for olive trees, fig trees, or plum trees. Space. If you have a large yard, you can plant trees such as mango or jabuticabera. If the space is small, choose shrubs such as cherry or cherry trees, or even herbs such as mint. Soil. Some plants, such as coconut trees, like sandy soil. Others, like banana trees, prefer soil rich in organic matter. Do a simple analysis of your soil or look at what already grows well in your region. Care. If you don't have much time to care, choose more resistant plants, such as fig or jabuticabera. If you like to work with the soil, you can opt for plants that need regular pruning, such as the orange tree. Basic care for plants to last decades even though they are resistant. These plants need some care to live for a long time. See what you can do. 1. Water. Most plants need regular water, especially when they are young. Once they are adults, some can withstand periods of drought, but but it is always good to water them in very dry times. 2. Sun. Almost all fruit plants need sun. Plant in a location where they receive at least 6 hours of sun per day. 3. Fertilizer. Even the most resilient plants benefit from organic fertilizer, such as manure or compost. Apply light fertilizers every 6 months. 4. Pruning. Some plants, such as orange and guava trees, need pruning to maintain their shape and stimulate production. Others, like the fig tree, do not need frequent pruning. 5. Protection. Keep an eye on pests such as ants, aphids, and caterpillars. Use natural remedies, such as smoke syrup or coconut soap, to combat them. 6. Spacing. Plant trees with enough space to grow. If they get too close together, they can compete for water and nutrients. Advantages of having these plants at home. Having plants that produce food for decades has several advantages. Economy. You spend less at the market because you have fresh fruits and spices at home. Sustainability. Plants help reduce pollution, attract birds and beneficial insects, and some even improve the soil. Health. Eating fresh fruits and vegetables is always healthier than buying processed foods. Leisure. Caring for plants can be a relaxing and rewarding hobby. Furthermore, picking fruit from your own backyard is a joy for the whole family. Legacy. Many of these plants live longer than us. Planting a fruit tree is leaving a gift for future generations. Final summary: having a yard or vegetable garden with plants that produce food for decades is like having a food savings account. They require little care at first, but then pay off with fruit, leaves and roots for years to come. Some, like the hose or the Jabuticabera, can even become family heirlooms. The 20 plants we've listed here are just a few options. There are many others, such as loquat, fruit of Conde and Aracazero, which can also be great choices. The important thing is to start with what you like to eat and what suits your space and climate. If you've never planted anything, start with something simple, like a mint or a cherry tree. Over time, you can increase the variety. The secret is to be patient. Some plants take years to bear fruit, but once they start, they never stop. And remember, planting is an act of love. Love for nature, family, and the future. So, choose your plants, prepare the land, and start building your own eternal orchard today. Here are some more tips for you to make the most of these plants that last for decades and fill your table with fresh food for a long time. First, think about the space you have. If you live in an apartment or house with a small yard, choose plants that grow well in pots, such as cherry trees or lemon trees. They don't need a lot of space, but they produce delicious fruit. If you have a larger plot of land, you can invest in large trees, such as jackfruit or mulberry, which in addition to providing fruit, provide shade and make the environment cooler. Another important thing is the climate in your region. Some plants like heat, such as banana and cashew trees, while others prefer cooler places, such as apple and plum trees. Before planting, ask someone in your city or search online for the best options for your climate. This way, you avoid frustration and ensure that the plant will grow strong and healthy. It's also good to know that some plants need company to produce better. For example, the guava tree likes to be close to other fruit trees, while the pomegranate tree does well even alone. If you have space, plant several species together. In addition to making the orchard more beautiful, you can harvest different fruits at different times of the year. Don't forget to take care of the land. Fertilizing regularly, watering in the right amount and pruning when necessary are habits that make all the difference. A well-cared-for plant bears larger, sweeter fruits for longer. And if pests appear, do not use strong poisons. There are natural solutions, such as soapy water or neem oil, that solve the problem without harming the health of the plant or those who will eat the fruits. One cool thing about these plants is that many of them attract birds, bees, and butterflies. This helps nature and also makes your yard more vibrant and colorful. Imagine waking up to birdsong and always having flowers and fruits nearby. It's a simple way to live more connected to the earth. And if you think you don't have time to take care of an orchard, know that many of these plants are very resistant. Once they grow, some even survive with little water and almost no care. This is the case of the fig tree and the mulberry tree, which tolerate periods of drought well and still produce tasty fruits. Finally, don't be in a rush. Planting a tree is like raising a child. At first, it needs more attention, but over time, it will grow and become independent. And when you least expect it, you'll be harvesting fruits you planted years ago, perhaps even sharing with your grandchildren. So, choose a plant you like, prepare the soil carefully and start now. Even if it's just a basil plant or an acerola seedling, The important thing is to take the first step. Over time, you will see how rewarding it is to harvest what you sowed and know that you are leaving a legacy for future generations. And who knows, in a few years, your children or grandchildren will also thank you for having an orchard full of life and flavor. Now, if you want to go beyond fruit trees, there are other plants that also produce food for many years and are easy to care for. Some don't even need a lot of space, which is great for those who live in an apartment or have a small yard. An example is the banana tree. It grows quickly and, after producing the first bunch, it continues producing shoots that will generate new bananas. Even if you cut the old trunk, the plant's children are ready to grow and bear fruit. Another advantage is that it likes the sun, but it also adapts to places with less light. Pineapple is a plant that seems complicated, but it isn't. After planting the crown, that green part at the top, in about 2 years you will harvest the first fruit. And the best part, the mother plant dies, but first it leaves several babies around, which will grow and produce new pineapples. It's as if it multiplied on its own. For those who like spices, rosemary, or leeks, and chives are great options. They grow in clumps and, if you harvest just the leaves, the plant remains alive and producing for years. Just cut what you need and let the rest grow. The same happens with mint and basil, which, if well cared for, become perennial plants, that is, they last a long time. Another plant worth having is the yam. It grows underground and, after harvesting the tubers, the plant resprouts on its own. Just leave a little piece of the root in the soil and, next season, new yams will appear. And you don't need much. A little corner with loose soil and the right amount of water is enough. If you have a little more space, the coconut tree is an incredible choice. In addition to producing coconuts for decades, it resists wind and strong sun well. And it's not just the water and pulp that are useful. The leaves are used to make crafts, and the trunk, when old, can be used in construction. For those who live in colder regions, blackberries and raspberries are excellent. They grow on bushes and, once established, bear fruit every year. The secret is to prune the old branches so that the new ones grow strong. Best of all, they spread on their own, so over time you could have a patch full of them. The important thing is to remember that each plant has its own rhythm. Some take longer to bear their first fruits, but then reward themselves with abundant harvests. Others produce all year round, like lemongrass and lemon balm, which you can harvest whenever you need fresh tea. Starting an orchard or perennial vegetable garden doesn't have to be complicated. Choose 1 or 2 plants that you like, research how to care for them and experiment. Over time, you will get the hang of it and can add more species. The cool thing is that, in addition to having fresh food at home, you also help the environment, as plants attract birds, bees, and other animals that are important to nature. And don't worry if a plan doesn't work out on the first try. Even the most experienced gardeners have lost seedlings or had poor harvests. The secret is not to give up and learn from your mistakes. Sometimes, you just need to change the location of the plant, water a little more, or less, or fertilize the soil and it will grow strong again. In the end, having plants that produce food for decades is like having a natural supermarket in your backyard. You save money, eat healthier foods, and still create a beautiful, lively space. And best of all, it's a gift that continues to bear fruit, year after year, for you and for those who come after.